What's up, everybody? All right, so today I just wanted to hop on really quick to share some of, dare I say, frustrations I have with Riverside.fm. So I recently joined them. Well, not even recently, it's been almost a year now that I've joined their platform, and it's been a wonderful experience until most recently when the audio drifting has just been getting worse and worse. So, those of you who are not familiar with Riverside.fm, first of all, I just want to say this is not a bashing by any sense, it is just an observation. Okay, so I'm going to show you all. Uh, Riverside.fm is a platform. Let's go to Riverside where you can record essentially a podcast or interviews virtually. So they've been great. I really enjoyed them. They give high quality audio, high quality video. You can use your phone. It's a decent pricing and everything like that. It's been a game changer for those of you who do like interviews or classes or whatever, and you've been using things like Zoom, and it hasn't been like your best experience. Or you're not getting the best video or audio. Riverside has changed the game with that. So now, what I'm experiencing is that, so pretty much what I do with my Riverside, this is like my back end. So I'll record my interview and then I will download the files and edit them myself, which hasn't been a problem in the past because at the moment, Riverside also doesn't have the capability for you to live edit. So being able to switch cameras, say if somebody else is speaking and you want them to have the full screen, they don't have that. Where you can do it live. Now they do have it where you can have it in certain things like clips. They have a setting there with the magic editor, which is awesome as well. Where in clips, their AI is detecting who is speaking and being able to go back and forth there. But there's limited capability. So for people who would like to control everything, sometimes like myself, in their podcast, the way to go at the moment is a um, switching to a different platform that gives you that capability, such as StreamYard or Ecamm, or do it yourself. And so at the moment, I've been doing it myself. So here we go. I've This person that I was speaking with as well was using an iPhone. Now, I am fine with being challenged that because it was an iPhone and I was on a computer, that's why these difficulties kind of came to be. But I've had it in multiple situations to where both participants were on a computer and I was still experiencing auto drift. Anyway, let me take you through the quick situation. So I've downloaded both of these. I downloaded the video and sometimes even the audio. So when I bring it into Final Cut, I learned this system from another YouTuber, and I'm super grateful for it because I like the way it's set up. But either way, I create different angles for the participants. So let's say this is for me. So I create the angle and I bring myself in, and I also bring in the audio if I need it. So my audio was struggling that day, so I needed to bring in the WAV file from there. And then I turn this into a compound clip. All right, so everything there, this helps me not change what I need to, or it doesn't damage the original clip when I turn it into a compound clip and then edit it from there. Anyway, so I make a compound clip for myself. I make a compound clip or angle for my participant. Make sure everything is good there. If I need to change any audio levels, if I need, so you can see here when I go in here, she didn't have her cell phone sideways or horizontally, so I changed her view to make it vertical, and then I just added an extra layer and put some blur, some Gaussian blur behind it, so that I can have something else in the background besides those black clips. And then I make another compound clip with both of us, right? Using the compound clips from my own angles, from the separate angles. So this one is my compound clip plus her compound clip creates another compound clip with both of us, and you see the split screen action that we have going on here. Okay. All right. And then we have another, all these are different projects, and then we have different compound clips. And then we go into the final edit. The final edit, I take the compound clips that I've had, I turn them into a multicam, and the multicam gives me the angles. So the final edit is the one with the multicam options, and I can go back and forth. So now I have my angles. All right. So that's a process. Actually, let me see if I can find the name of the YouTube channel that gave me this workflow that I appreciate so much. Boom, boom, boom. It's audio for content creators. So shout out to him. All right. I like this workflow because I can go back and forth between whoever's speaking, and this is fine for me for now. The issue is now we have this problem where the audio is literally drifting away. And so it was more visible in mine. So if I go in here, what you'll see is I have gaps that I've had to create in order to keep everything succinct with my other guest. And that was extremely annoying, if you will. So you see my clip here, and then my audio automatically began to drift. So I understand that the WAV file and the MP3 file do not match up, and so that causes some issue as well. So the constant frame rate one and MP3s don't mix. So the issue again was that my guest was on a cell phone and I was on a computer. I have constant frame rate, she doesn't. But I've had situations so I have both constant frame rate and it just wasn't constant. So what I have to do, and the point of this video is showing you all what I have to do in order to be able to use this material as intended as a podcast. I don't want to just have myself or my guests talking over each other. I needed to fix it. All right, so first thing I did was my MP3 didn't sound great, so I put the WAV file on there, and I literally went in and created these gaps that I needed. So actually, this gap came a little bit later. What needed to happen first was I had to gap off the audio. I had to match the audio up with my voice. So this was just out of sync, and every so often, as you'll see, it would just drift off. It even come on now, even if it was by a millisecond, you'll see other instances where I've had to just go in. Oh, that's a compound clip. That's why. So, there's instances where I just had to go in incrementally and just change where it was. I've had to move it a few seconds over in order to kind of make my voice match up. So that turned into a compound clip so I can fix all of the audio by itself and have that for me. Now, another thing that I had to do is when we were in the Alana and Abby one, was there were times when we were just talking over each other. And so I didn't like that. So I had to go into hers, and I found that because of whatever, there was times where I just had to start hers a little bit later, right? So I literally had to start her clip maybe 2.11 seconds later, so we wouldn't be over talking one another. So the conversation flowed naturally without you hearing me speaking and her speaking at the same time, or me answering a question and her already answering it before I finished. So I had to gap that off there. All right. And then there were times as well where it just drifted throughout the conversation, and I had to go in once more, I believe towards the end, and just stop her video and move it over. All right, so what this did was, as things were progressing, whatever got messed up and whatever, and I had to stop it. Now, stopping this, when you're in a full multicam edit, you have to make sure that, let's go right here, you have to make sure that you cover it up with something, okay? So, that was towards the end. Let's see if we can find it. So there would be a time where sorry for all the noise. There we go. Okay. So there would be a time, because that gap that I put in her video, when I found it, I had to make sure I was covering up with just me. And because she's in two different clips, but I had to move it over for the conversation's sake, that's something else that I had to do. So this is all I'm saying at the moment is, if you are using Riverside and you're experiencing audio drifting, these are some of the things that you can do to combat it in editing. I implore Riverside to figure out what's going on so we don't continue to have these issues, because it took me an extra 20-30 minutes to just fix my audio and my video issues before I was able to get into just like my normal podcasting workflow. So this part is done. Like, I've chopped up my video the way I wanted, and that's fine. Now I have to add like my logo and whatever intro or outro music, but literally it added more time into my podcast workflow, and my podcast is delayed because I know that I have to go through the headache of, or what editing hurdle do I have to get over with what I'm receiving. Um, and then another thing that I just want is live editing. That would be super dope to be able to have the capability that I do in Final Cut through Riverside. Even if it's just the capability of being able to switch who is the larger person speaking at whatever time. That's my ask. But if you are struggling, or if you have any other editing issues, or maybe even fixes for me that you can recommend, I'd love for you to leave a comment or drop me a DM somewhere to just show me how you're getting over these hurdles and how you're able to continue to be productive, even though you know what is on the horizon. So I'm going to sign off. Thank you for, if you were live or if you're on the replay, or what have you. I appreciate your time, and y'all have a good one.